I'm scrolling through Facebook and I catch this post. These cities won't be kind to you unless you're straight, white, and male. Well, geez, I'm guessing there's some wave of hate crime going around, or maybe some race riots in the news, or maybe these are just the states voting Donald Trump.
I am the least racist person that you have ever met.
These are the most intolerant cities in the United States, according to Twitter. Well, that's an important qualifier, isn't it? According to Twitter, Ted Cruz is the Zodiac Killer.
Ted Cruz is Zodiac Killer confirmed.
According to Twitter, John Oliver is funny.
One biographer found that a prescient ancestor had changed it from, and this is true, Drumpf. Yes. King Drumpf.
His name was Americanized. According to Twitter, someone's coming to your house right now to kill you.
1 minute I sent a tweet, and 24 hours later, I had to leave my house. And the police's response to me is to simply stay off my electronic devices.
So, according to Twitter is a phrase that just means the following is bullshit. But let's see what this article says. b.o.b, an apartment searching service, parsed through Twitter data and found the most prejudiced cities in the United States. They looked at terms that went from the sterile and politically correct to drippingly prejudiced terms that would make your grandmother turn over in her grave unless she was racist, then she'd high-five you. Don't ever write jokes again. Okay, so if using Twitter as a source to measure sincere societal attitudes isn't a big enough methodological flaw to destroy this report, it's self-admittedly context blind. The mere mention of any of the terms on this list of dirty words will not only get you qualified as drippingly prejudiced, but your home city and state as well. It doesn't matter if you tweet, "Bitches less than bros," and yes, to clarify, I mean that misogynistically. Or if you tweet, "I'm interested in dog breeding. Can someone help me find a healthy, show quality bitch?" Now that's a little absurd, of course, but let me give you a more realistic example. Using the tweet collection methods described, this study would count a tweet the authors presumably would find sexist, like "all women are sluts," just the same as it would count a tweet that contains the term but is categorically non-sexist or even anti-sexist, like "slut shaming is wrong and you should call it out when you see it." And it's that context blindness that produces some hilarious results. Somehow Louisiana, the fourth heaviest state in the union, hates obese people the most. Somehow Las Vegas and San Francisco, proud freak show sanctuaries, hate transgender people the most. Somehow Montana and Wyoming, where I live, are the least prejudiced states, though I know if you scraped my Twitter account alone blind to context, you'd find enough prejudice to tip this scale. So there you have it, oppressed LGBT people of San Francisco and Vegas. Abandon your struggle and find refuge in the Matthew Shepard state. But even if we take this methodology seriously, which we shouldn't, even if we think this is an accurate gauge of prejudice by locality in America, the scale of the problem is just as absurd. Las Vegas is extremely transgender because 99 out of 100,000 tweets contained an anti-trans term. Baltimore is the most prejudiced against blacks because 82 out of 100,000 tweets contained a racial slur. Bakersfield is very prejudiced against Hispanics because 24 out of 100,000 tweets contained some type of anti-Hispanic term. 24 out of 100,000. 2/100ths of 1%. In other words, this chart shows the ratio of tweets that are not anti-Hispanic to those identified as anti-Hispanic. If you have not set the video quality to 1080p, I suggest you do so now, as that is the only way you might be able to see the 1 pixel sliver of red that shows how and why Bakersfield is very prejudiced against Hispanics. Let's look at the big picture though. Let's consider all prejudiced tweets aggregated together, as these researchers do in concluding Louisiana is the most prejudiced state in the union. Here's the breakdown of all prejudiced tweets, even the ones containing innocuous words like bitch, which are bound to inflate the measurement of prejudice. We are still only at 1% of tweets in the state containing a word, regardless of context, that these researchers consider to be hateful. Just a guess here, but I bet if you watch any R-rated movie, more than 1 out of 100 words might be deemed Prejudiced. So to have this tiny of a problem on an anonymous, consequence-free platform of largely unregulated speech, I would say is overwhelming evidence of chill, not overwhelming evidence of hate. To these researchers, I'd like to ask, what's the alternative that you'd like to see? If these minute numbers of offensive tweets are unacceptably high to you, is 0 the number you're aiming for? Is our goal to have all internet users indoctrinated to believe that some words are never okay regardless of context? If you want an open communication platform, a small percentage of pure nonsense is unavoidable. If you see b.o.b. and Tila Tequila tweeting about how the earth is flat, the best response is to pull a Neil deGrasse Tyson and tell them why they're wrong. Not conclude that the entertainment industry is hostile to science and we should all stay away from Hollywood. The wonder of Twitter is that you can tell anyone, anywhere, at any time to fuck off as artfully or as crassly as you want to. And so to the publishers of this piece, thanks as always for listening and for supporting this channel. Always appreciate the thoughtful discussion down below, and especially over on Twitter. That is @skag_3. You're always welcome to come hang out and chat in my live stream. That is linked down in the description. Looking forward to it. Okay, bye.